Now, I was born into apartheid 1960, and these were the signs up at the post office, at any public place that I went to, for use by white persons only. Just turn around, there's a bench, if you can look behind the teacher. It says, slechts blankes, Europeans only. In the parks, if you walk past the park, then I wasn't allowed to sit there because I was not declared white, as you can see. And so I had to walk past it. But sometimes we resisted, and then we would go and sit there, and we would dare. They can come and catch us if they want. I will sit here because I'm tired. And sometimes we were caught and chased away, and we weren't allowed to sit. So that kind of feeling, just close your eyes, and you are now going to sit on that bench. Sit down, and somebody tells you, get off, you're not allowed to sit here. Come, get up. Would you laugh? Would you laugh when somebody comes? Maybe you would. Why would you laugh?
Standing in the District 6 Museum, we hear one of our storytellers, Belinda Jackson, sharing her experience of apartheid with a group of young people.
They're being silly. And then they're quite serious. And then they realize, but actually, it's not a laughing matter now. They might take me too. And they did sometimes took people to jail for breaking that very law. So these apartheid signs was a reality for many of us for many years. I grew up into it.
Non-Europeans only. Slechts nie blankes. For use by white persons. Vir gebruik deur blankes. This was the language of the apartheid government's Separate Amenities Act of 1953. The Separate Amenities Act of 1953 legalized the racial segregation of public spaces, including buildings, transport systems, and other basic services. But how did the Separate Amenities Act affect people and their daily lives? In this podcast, we will hear how this law impacted on people. We will start with Ashley Cloete and his experience with a racially segregated transport system.
Buses were going up and down, trolley buses in those days. They had electricity on top, but one windy, sometimes for whatever, the wind blows and then the thing will fall down.
The bus stops.
And then the bus stops. Yeah, but there's also, every bus had a long stick. And then the bus driver has to come out of it and then put the thing back onto it.
It's part of their job as drivers.
Yeah, or the driver or the conductor, because there was also, every bus also had a conductor.
Yeah.
Which he had to see that they were of the right race.
Yeah.
Because there were buses only for whites and other buses, of course, mixed. But then the seats at the bottom, it is like a thing where you get onto the bus with a little platform. And nobody was allowed to stand there, but it seats there, one long seat at the back. People of color, non-whites as we were called, we were allowed to sit there, and the whites were sitting at the front.
Yeah.
And then, as coloreds or other races, you upstairs, you can go and sit. That's some of the buses going to Sea Point or to Vredehoek, you know. Of course, buses going to...
But that was also always questioned that, because you then, on top, luxury of getting new views. They missed out.
No, you were not
they missed out.
You were not interested in the views. You were yeah. Then once, this is now in a bus to Belleville. In fact, I had come back from Germany already at that time. And I wanted to take this bus. But now I was standing on the platform because the seats for the non-whites were all taken. And then the conductor stopped the bus. No, you're not allowed to stand here.
Yeah.
No, but I was a very anti-apartheid activist. So I argued with him. But no, but all the seats upstairs are full, and why can't I just stand here? No. And no, so we argued out, and he would not let the bus go.
Yeah.
I had to get off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. Of course, everybody can had some experience, and especially if you were like me, a bit of an activist, and then you're constantly in trouble. But I was never in prison.
Ashley Cloete was right. This experience of not being allowed on a bus or being told to get off the bus because of the color of your skin was an experience most Black people could relate to in this country. And while people responded differently in these types of situations, Ashley Cloete, who questioned the authority of the bus conductor, responded with a sense of defiance, which is exactly how Aboubarker Brown responded when confronted with a similar situation.
Remember, our buses were separated, right? Down below, bottom deck, about 5 or 6 seats for colored, the rest is all white. Now one day, we were in the bus, okay? This lady got onto the bus, colored lady, last days of pregnancy, feet swollen, tired she was. She asked the guy that collects your money, conductor, Kachi, can I sit there? There was only seats for white. No! This white woman got up. She said, excuse me, sir, can't you see the woman is ailing? Why can't she sit there? You know what he told her? Just shut up. This is the law of the land. She can't sit there. Come on. So one of the colored ladies in front got up, gave the lady a seat. That is one of the bad things. The other thing is, now my wife, not bragging about my wife, had blondish hair and green eyes. Okay. Why
Not that you're bragging, not that you're bragging.
we come from the beach one day. We're standing, no seats in the bus, standing in the front there. This guy comes along, he says to her, excuse me lady, you can sit at the back there, that is for white people. She said, no, but I'm not white, I'm with him. It's also a joke. It's sick, it makes you sick.
Yeah.
That feeling you get inside, what are these guys on about? What is this? You know? So eventually we went upstairs, we go sit upstairs. I said, oh, hey, let's go sit upstairs. Man. These people make you sick. Now that was 2 bad experiences. Yeah. The lady, the pregnancy and that. And you go sit in a park. Okay? You can't sit there now. My daughter, the one that's in England now. One day we went to Red Cross Hospital. The son was ill. Okay? Took him to hospital. So I had to make a phone call. Now there's a park just below Red Cross. There's a little park there. I don't know if you... Yeah. Right? Rondebos.
Yeah.
There's a park there. So the phone booth was there, you know, the public phone booth was there. I went there. The first thing my daughter showed me, she wanted to play in the swings. Now, how do I tell this little girl, you can't go and play there because you're colored? It eats you. You know, I bought her ice cream. You know what she did? She threw it on the ground. Oh, no, I want to go there. I had to calm her down all the time. You know, now that broke you. It breaks you. It does. It's very, very sad.
Aboubarker Brown struggled to explain to his daughter why she could not play in a whites-only park. But this is what many parents had to explain to their children. And not only when they went to the park. They had to do this when they went to the beach, when they went to swimming pools, to bioscopes or music concerts. Everywhere they went, parents had to explain to their children why they were not allowed in certain areas and leisure spaces. Now we listen to Maureen Gallen as she remembers her father taking them to play in a whites-only park under the cover of darkness.
We lived with what you call the apartheid was very much, it was very obvious those days. So we were a bit sneaky, a bit dodgy. My father would take us down to the swings. That was all we wanted. So we'd go to Sea Point at night time when... So, sorry for using this word, I hate it, but when all the white children were at home in their beds or whatever, that was the time we went to the swings, and we would play on these swings, and we would feel very proud of ourselves. Yeah. We took over their playground.
So during the day you could not
No,
go
you're not allowed to. We'd go and there was
Was there security looking after if you?
not really. No, not
So
at
how
night time.
will they know if
They
you're
didn't.
there?
They didn't, you see.
I saw
And-
during the day. I'm saying during the day.
during the day, I think there was just that general fear,
Okay.
that it was a place, and there were also big signposted, Europeans only, blankers alleen. So you just knew you didn't go there.
Yeah,
But I remember there was this natural swimming pool area and a sort of cove that came in, and we just loved it. We jumped in there and we thought we were in heaven. And of course, all too soon, my father would say, "We have to go home now." So that was our, sort of freedom, but it was at night.
Yeah. Can you tell us?
From listening to Maureen Gallen talk about their clandestine trips to the park, we see the lengths parents went to shield their children from the harsh realities of apartheid laws. Now we listen to Marlene Ronnie as she recounts her experience with the Separate Amenities Act.
You know where the Newland swimming baths is, right? Newland swimming baths? Now, we were just up the road from the Newland swimming baths, but because of our colour, we could not go there.
Yeah.
So we were just sort of up the road, and we would often pass that way, with the bus. And we would pass there and go in the opposite direction to the beach, because we couldn't go to that pool. So that huge pool was always there, and we would pass there often, but we couldn't go there. So, yeah.
Marlene passed that beautiful pool every time they went to the beach, knowing that she was not allowed to swim there. Derek, who lived in an area not too far from Marlene, and who also frequently passed by that very same swimming pool, eventually found himself a clever way to get in.
Going to the beach was very similar to Marlene's experience. Also using public transport, we'd pack our bags and our blankets and all this up to Claremont Station and take a train through to the beach that we were allowed to go to, Cork Bay. We couldn't get
past Muizenberg.
past Muizenberg, past St. James, to get off at Cork Bay. And I still have a number of photos, not of then, but of recently, of the tunnels, because you always used to go and look for one of those tunnels to camp for the day. Occasionally there was an alternate in that one of our neighbors, one of the girls staying there, her boyfriend, his father had a sort of trucking business.
Okay.
So on occasion he would come with the truck and we'd all get on this truck, and he'd drive us through to Komachi, when we could still go to Komachi. There wasn't the restriction of us having to go to Soetwaters. We went to Komachi, spend the day there. He'd come back with the truck again and then all back to Claremont. There was another swimming bath in Claremont, close to, where the Claremont Civic Centre is now. Just behind that, there was an enclosed pool there, so people of colour could go there, but we couldn't go to the Newlands bath. Now, on occasion, my footballing friends, some of them were white, they would say they're going to Newlands, and they'd say, "Derek, you're going with us." So I'd go. They'd buy the tickets at the cashier there, and then I'd just sneak in with them because I've got my ticket. And then I'd go and swim. So for that hour, I used to play white.
Unfortunately, you've got a more light skin, so they won't pick you up.
So we could, but in terms of going to the beach, it was more the coloured neighbours in that street. We'd all go to the beach together because we were about 4 or 5 families.
Sure.
And it would be like a big neighborhood type, but just that grouping, we'd go to the beach.
Derek was not the only person to play white in order to get access to the amenities reserved for white people only. Noor Toufie's experience on the bus provided some comic relief despite the seriousness of the situation.
Okay, so one day we're going to Greenpoint Track, we're going to play rugby now. Okay, so we fair of complexion. And so the bus was full, upstairs also. We late actually for the game. So we have to get into the Sea Point bus, right? And it's a white bus. I said, hey, come, let's go in the bus, man. So, okay, conductor was that time still. So we went into the bus. So it was full upstairs, so we sit downstairs. So first we stand, actually. First we stand. We stand, okay. Then the people get out. Then me and him, I was sitting on this side and he was sitting on that side. And then at midnight, he was sitting next to a policeman. He sat next to a policeman, but he was a detective. Okay. Then I said, then he said to the policeman, I don't know, the policeman said something to him. Then he asked the policeman, where's your credentials? The policeman taking out his credentials, show it to him. And yeah, he must get out of the bus now.
And your legs.
Yes, you can't sit there. I said, he must walk now. I said one way, police, he didn't worry about me. I said one way, he can't say that I'm a colored. Do you know that that is the law? He can't say he's a colored, she's a colored, or he's a colored. That is the law. Yes,
so
the
you had
time
to
of
walk
the
off.
law. Yes, he can't say, he can't come
Didn't
to
you
me and
follow
say to
him?
me that I'm a colored. No, my cousin is actually police. He should keep his mouth shut and that's all.
Yeah. And enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride. But now he have to be clever.
And you didn't walk with your cousin, no solidarity. It was just suffer on his own.
Okay, that was now part of the joke of apartheid now, actually. But if you take it in, if you go up Victoria Road, no? If you go up Victoria Road, you can see on the bench there was about one white man who became a colored, and there was 538 colored people who became white.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why did you not apply to be white?
No, I don't need to apply. I don't need to apply. I can just get in the bus and finish. My brother-in-law also, we stayed by the bus stop. Now, okay, he's a bit dark of complexion.
Dark.
Now we stay. Now it's raining. I said, here comes the bus. I'm going to stop the bus. I'm getting in. I'll see you in town. I see you when I get home.
No, you were not nice.
I wasn't nice. No, but I can't stand in the rain. You can stand in the rain.
And
Noor Toufie's experience exposes the liminal nature of living in a highly segregated society. And for some people, this meant moving between designated races and spaces. Similar to Noor Toufie, Sekeenah Petersen, even as a young child, had a good laugh when being confronted with the reality of the Separate Amenities Act.
My upbringing in Somerset were quite good, because I could fit my head in anywhere, by the whites, by the coloureds, by the Muslim. I had no problem. You understand? I had no problem. Only the problem is, if me and my husband, or when I caught him, we went to Quibble in the retreat, to the bicycle, then the police have tap on him at the back. That time the police tap you at the back. Then they wanted to take him. I had to carry my ID, green card, everywhere where I go. Otherwise he's going to jail every time he's with me. And after that, they said, no, enough is enough. He's going nowhere with me. Okay, good shot. He stayed at home. I went dancing, which I shouldn't do, but nevertheless, I went. Went to bicycle, sit book out by the colours. I go down by the whites. I go sit there. That's it. I had no problem with that. I wasn't pushed off the pavement by the whites. My coloured bras were all pushed off from the pavement, but I never was.
The Separate Amenities Act affected people of all ages, from all walks of life. Apartheid laws prescribed to people where they could live, work, play, and how they traveled. And while this exclusion and segregation of society and public spaces caused a lot of pain and heartache, often people responded with defiance and a little bit of laughter. I'm Lisa Hendricks, and you're listening to another episode in the District 6 Museum Vusalela Ons Luister podcast series. No matter where we are here. The audio snippets used in this podcast are taken from the District 6 Museum archive. The stories produced through this podcast series and the opinions and statements that may be contained herein do not reflect those of the District 6 Museum, but rather the individuals hosted within this series. This program is funded by the Mellon Foundation.